It's been a busy first week since Elon Musk took control of Twitter on October 27th. He appointed himself CEO, make that Chief Twit, or Twitter Complaint Hotline Operator. There were plenty of complaints when Musk said people would have to start paying $8 a month to keep their blue checkmark, or to get one. AOC wasn't too happy. Musk's response to the Congresswoman? Pay up. The SpaceX and Tesla CEO didn't waste any time getting down to business. He ousted Twitter's 9 board of directors to become the sole director, though he says being sole director is temporary. He also started to trim the fat and is reportedly planning on eliminating nearly half of Twitter's workforce, or 3,700 jobs, according to Bloomberg. These two guys pretended to be laid-off employees and gave their names as Raul Ligma and Daniel Johnson to reporters who fell for their prank. But Musk did really start day one as chief of Twitter by firing top Twitter executives. CEO Parag Agrawal got the boot. So did Chief Financial Officer Ned Siegel and Legal Affairs and Policy Executive Vijay Gadde. Gadde was reportedly instrumental in permanently banning Donald Trump from the platform for controversial tweets related to the Capitol Hill riot in January 2021. Musk said banning the former US president was a morally bad decision. Everyone is wondering whether the former president will be back on Twitter. Musk mused that if he had $1 for every time someone asked him if Trump is coming back on this platform, Twitter would be minting money. Before any big changes, he says Twitter will be forming a content moderation council with widely diverse viewpoints. No major content decisions or account reinstatements will happen before that council convenes. He said the process would take at least a few more weeks. Musk did buy the platform because he's a self-described free speech absolutist who believes Twitter should be the digital town square, but thinks it has gone too far in squashing dissenting opinions. The final straw appears to have been when Twitter suspended the Babylon Bee, a Christian satire account that named U.S. Assistant Secretary for Health, Dr. Rachel Levine, its Man of the Year. Many who are viewed as conservative feel they've been unfairly targeted by Twitter. Clinical psychologist Jordan Peterson had his account suspended over his post about transgender actor Elliot Page, formerly Ellen Page.
But the suspension will not be lifted unless I delete the hateful tweet in question, and I would rather die than do that.
Musk replied to Peterson's daughter that anyone suspended for minor and dubious reasons will be freed from Twitter jail.
Elon Musk won't only be freeing people from Twitter jail. Just like his ambitions for SpaceX and Tesla, he has far bigger plans for Twitter.
In his view, Twitter is an accelerant to creating X, the everything app. There's speculation that he wants to replicate the success of WeChat, which has basically become the everything app in China. When YouTuber Stephen Mark Ryan of Solving the Money Problem pointed out it's insane that Twitter has not currently implemented a YouTube clone, Musk responded with a wink. Could we see creators monetizing videos on Twitter? Musk pulled people to ask if they wanted to bring back Vine, the short video sharing app that Twitter shut down in 2016. He talked about it being a possible competitor for TikTok. All these plans rely on good engineering. Musk reportedly sent in his trusted Tesla engineers to inspect Twitter's code to assess the company's needs. They'll have to tackle the problem of fake and spam accounts. In fact, Musk tried to get out of buying Twitter, believing it wasn't worth the $44 billion he offered to take it private due to the number of spam bots.
Musk believes the way to defeat the spam bots while also making money for Twitter is to start charging you for this blue check mark.
This is arguably his most controversial move during week one. The blue verification badge has become a status symbol granted to journalists, celebrities, politicians, some of whom were furious when they heard they'd have to pay $19.99 a month to keep their blue tick, as reported by The Verge. Musk replied to an unhappy Stephen King that Twitter needs to pay the bills somehow, and wondered if the horror author might be willing to dish out $8 instead. He called the current system for who has and doesn't have the blue tick BS, and that charging $8 a month for anyone who wants it would mean more power to the people. This would be part of the Twitter Blue subscription service, which comes with other benefits. Although Musk has long boasted that Tesla does not pay for advertising, advertising has been crucial to Twitter's survival. General Motors temporarily pulled ads from Twitter following the takeover. Musk tried to reassure advertisers that Twitter would be a respected advertising platform. In an open letter, he stressed that he doesn't want Twitter to become a free-for-all hellscape where anything can be said with no consequences. He also said he bought Twitter to help humanity, whom I love. Will people love the new Twitter? Users have been noticing some changes. When the White House boasted seniors are getting the biggest Social Security increase in a decade thanks to President Biden, context checkers pointed out it's because inflation has been the highest in decades. The White House then deleted the tweet. Musk can only hope that Twitter soars to new heights, like his rocket company, SpaceX, though some have vowed to leave. However you feel, let that sink in, that a new boss is in town.
Can't help it, that's okay.
Twitter is now a private company and will no longer be listed on the New York Stock Exchange. However, millions of investors have already dropped their shares in the last few months as it got too volatile, and their caution is well-founded. The classic 60-40 portfolio of stocks and bonds, the go-to investing method for decades, has lost around 34% this year. As a result, Goldman Sachs says portfolios need to be rebalanced to avoid further losses. They highlight the importance of investing in real assets that have historically outperformed in volatile conditions. Assets like fine art. And it's why Masterworks is seeing increased demand this year. Masterworks lets you invest in multi-million-dollar paintings from legends like Picasso. You can buy shares in these paintings without owning millions yourself. Contemporary art has outpaced the S&P 500 by 131% for the last 26 years, even during the bull market of the last decade. In October, Masterworks sold this painting by George Condo for a 21.5% net return. In fact, 6 of Masterworks' 7 sales have brought in over 20% net returns. Masterworks has a wait list to join their 550,000 plus members. But you can skip the waitlist by clicking the custom link in the description. That's masterworks.art/newsthink. masterworks.art/newsthink to get started investing in fine art. Thanks for watching. For Newsthink, I'm Cindy Pom.